the pursuit of justice continued, and I think we ought to make that clear. Senator Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One, thank you for having the hearing. This is a great hearing. I appreciate it. I've been working with you and Senator Blumenthal and many others to try to find a way to, there's a couple things I think we need to do. We need to continue to help the Ukraine financially. They're fighting like tigers. They're using the equipment we give them to great effect. They need financial support to keep the government open and lights on, and the world can do more, but I think it's in our interest to make sure that Ukraine has the resources to continue the fight. There's an effort to make Russia a state sponsor of terrorism under U.S. law. I think that could be a game changer, and hope we can move forward there. But the other lane that we're interested in is letting the Russian military know that we're watching. Do you agree, Mr. Rosenbaum, that's an important message to send?
Thank you, Senator. That's an excellent question, and I certainly agree that it's extremely important that Russia knows that the free world is watching. Okay. That was one of the messages that I think was sent loudly from the Ukraine Accountability Conference in The Hague when 45 nations together said we're watching and we're going to help achieve accountability.
Are you both, Mr. Watson, are you familiar with efforts, bipartisan efforts to change ASPA, I think is the acronym, to allow ICC investigators to come to the United States and gather evidence regarding Russian war crimes in Ukraine? Are you familiar with that?
Thank you for your question, Senator. No, I am not.
Okay. Well, we'll make you familiar. Mr. Rosenbaum, are you familiar with that?
Yes, Senator. I'm generally familiar with it. I'm certainly familiar with the American Service Members Protection Act of 2002 and the Dodd Amendment to it.
We talked with Mr. Sullivan yesterday, but a group of us. The administration was openly supportive of a change in our law. It would not subject American service members to ICC jurisdiction, but it would allow a small change in U.S. law to allow the ICC to come to the United States and access information that we have that's unique and that would be pivotal in any case they brought against Russian war criminals. I am hoping, Senator Durbin, we can deliver on that in December, and I want to have a robust lane of assistance to the ICC to start prosecutions early next year against Russian war criminals and let the Russian military know you follow Putin's orders at your own peril. When it comes to the benefit of international prosecutions in terms of deterring future misbehavior, do you think that's a reality given the past?
Well, I think, Senator, a lot of people thought that after Nuremberg, we would not see large-scale atrocity crimes being committed ever again. And with the benefit of hindsight, obviously, that turned out to be incorrect. Some of us thought that with the end of the Cold War that we wouldn't see perpetration of large-scale atrocity crimes. We were wrong about that as well.
So let's just build on that. There will be an effort in the Congress to assist Ukraine with the weapons and the economic support they need to continue the fight. There will be an effort in the Congress to make Russia state-sponsored terrorism, making it in the nation of Category 5 other nations like North Korea and Iran. And I think there's going to be an effort in Congress to open up evidentiary lanes to the ICC so that prosecutions become more real. If we can pull this off, to my colleagues, by the end of this year, then 2023 could be a consequential year. If the Russians see and the Ukrainians see a flow of economic and military assistance, a further isolation of Russia by making them a state-sponsored terrorism, and a viable lane of prosecution for the war crimes they're committing right before our eyes, I think it can turn the tide of battle in 2023. We as Congress can have a great effect on the outcome of this war. I want to thank all of my colleagues, Senator Durbin and Blumenthal and others, Coons, all of you, for trying to get to that day. If Putin uses a nuclear weapon, if he follows through on his threat, in Ukraine, I would consider that an attack on NATO writ large. The radiation would affect all of Europe, not just Ukraine. So we're being blackmailed by one of the biggest thugs of the 21st century. Now's the time to stand up to that blackmail. Very quickly, Jake Sullivan gave the right answer when he said there would be catastrophic consequences if Russia used a nuclear weapon in Ukraine. He's right, and I hope NATO will reinforce that message, and I hope the Congress will reinforce the message. If there is a nuclear explosion in Ukraine directed by Putin, that would be an attack on NATO itself, and all hell would come to bear on Putin. If we don't send that message, we're making a huge mistake to him and other thugs like him. Thank you.
I would also add, Senator Graham, in the context of your hope and my shared hope, that we have to make it clear that the results of the election will not change our determination on a bipartisan
Not
basis.
one bit.